Hey there, this is Markus from FWsim. In this video you will learn about the new user interface in FWsim version 4. It makes show design faster and more efficient, so you can focus on the creative process. Let's create a new show and load a 3D location from Google Earth. FWsim will open Google Maps, right-click the location you want, then click the coordinates to copy them to the clipboard. Add a few positions. Then select them all and move them around. As you can see, the positions automatically adapt to the height of the 3D environment. When the Positions tab is open in the sidebar, you can see Position Setup Mode at the bottom of the screen. While you are in this mode, you can add new positions and move them around. When you're happy with your setup, move to a different tab in the sidebar. The positions are now locked, so you don't move them by accident. Finally, let's add some music. Select a position in the 3D window, then click Single button on the toolbox to choose your effect. The shot will be added to the position you selected. You can also activate multiple positions to insert multiple shots. The rotation can be adjusted in the 3D window. Those 5 shots fire at the same time. To have them fire one after the other, drag the white rectangle in the timeline. You can also select multiple positions by holding the Control key. This allows you to determine the order in which your shots fire. Using copy and paste, you can quickly create nice sequences. To move a cue to a different position, simply drag it in the 3D window. You can also use the drop-down on the right. Open the Camera tab and make sure the Fly Around camera type is selected. The info on the screen shows you how to move the camera. By holding the middle mouse button, we rotate around the center. The mouse wheel moves us closer or further away. Hold the Shift key to move left or right, up or down. We have moved to the left. If we rotate, we will rotate around this new center. If you want the camera centered around the 0 point like it was before, click Reset Center of Rotation in the sidebar. In part 2, we saw how to arrange several single shots so they fire one after the other. As an alternative, you can use the Sequences feature. A sequence contains several shots but shows up as a single cue in the timeline. In previous versions, this was called a stepper. We made lots of improvements to this and now it is called sequence. You can use sequences in many different ways. Select one position to create a sequence on that position. You can change angles from to. and the count. Duration can be changed in the timeline by grabbing the right edge. Select several positions and hold the Control key. A sequence will be created going through the positions. You can also drag a rectangle. If you drag from left to right, the stepper will fire from left to right. If you drag from right to left, it will fire the opposite way. You can also click Reverse Stepper in the Edit menu to change the direction later. When you select only two positions, the stepper will go between them and intermediate shots will be created between them. We do not recommend this way of working because those intermediate shots will not be on any position. This means you cannot export the show. Now let's look at this option. It is set to insert one sequence by default. Let's change it to one sequence per position. We now have 5 sequences on 5 positions. We can change the interval and number of shots. Or change the start and end angle. We can fire them one after the other using the white rectangle in the timeline. Let's add some modules. This process is much easier in FWsim version 4. Add them in the sidebar. Then drag each module to a position. For small shows, you may want to use a module for 2 positions. FWsim generates modules and pin numbers for each queue when you click Auto Assign Channels. FWsim also does this automatically before each firing system export. You can see the module and pin numbers in the timeline on each queue. You can also check this information in the table view. If you want to see how many pins are used on each module, go back to Module Editing mode. You can now use the Export menu to create data for your firing system or plans for printing.